This video is sponsored by that feeling you get when you go to watch a movie, you can't remember if you left your stove on or not, so you spend the entire time worrying about it and ruin 2018's Into the Spider-Verse for yourself. I haven't really had all that much time to dedicate to photos or videos in the last month, but the few times I have managed to get out, I found myself, rather than shooting film and having to wait, I've wanted something a little bit more immediate, but I've still liked the idea of having that film look, and it's pushed me towards bringing out this lens. So this lens is a Olympus Suco. It's a 50mm, it's f1.8, and I picked it up in Cal in a second-hand store about 4 or 5 years ago. It's got a special character to it. It's not a perfect lens by any means, but it does have a distinct look. It's a little bit grungy, it's a bit bloomy, sort of blows out the highlight, but in a way that's soft and doesn't feel harsh and digital. It's not something I'd use for any professional videos or really for a lot of photos unless I'm specifically after that feeling. I shot my first short film on it back in 2020. During lockdown, Road Reel had this challenge going, and I jumped on board, filmed this little piece, put a lot of thought into what I wanted the visuals to look like, and realised this was going to be the best option. It's probably not the clearest thing for commissioned work, for anything. There's anything where it's a product for someone else, I wouldn't be using this because it's very much particularly my taste, but it works for a lot of stuff that I wanted to do, and it's not ridiculously contrasty, which is what I find with a lot of lenses, even professional ones. I know a lot of people talked about their love for the Canon 50mm pancake lens, the Nifty 50. And I bought one, and I genuinely can't use it. I just really don't like how much contrast it has. It's something that was super hard to get rid of in post as well. It just felt really saturated, really contrasty, and I'm just not a fan of that look. And it almost gives like a faded film look. It kind of blows out, it sort of grays out the blacks a little bit, and you can always drop those down later if you want to, but it just blooms everything out and puts almost like a film of light grey over everything in a very subtle way, in a way that's very reactive to the light in the scene. A lot like the Cinebloom lenses, Cinebloom filters. That is actually, I've got one on the lens now. And they're awesome, they do a really good job with those, but I just find this is a much more authentic way to get that look. It's just a super fun lens. Feels like I've really got something that belongs to me. Even though these were still mass-produced, the fact that you don't see a lot of them now because they're kind of these obsolete pieces of equipment, and they're not really being talked about in the same way that the Helios and all those old Soviet lenses have sort of come back into the zeitgeist. These aren't really being talked about in the same way, and they're great. So don't worry too much about the brand, I guess. Just see if you can pick up something cheap, don't spend too much money on it, and just experiment with using some different lenses that aren't like critically acclaimed or massively zeitgeisty lenses, just stuff you can find. If you stumble across it or you see it on eBay, just take some chances on some different things and, grab something that has already been produced, has finished its production cycle. Grab it secondhand. And that way we're not constantly feeding into this market of new gear, new exciting things, everything being reproduced, mass-produced. Something like this, where it already exists, it's already had a lifetime, and then you get to give it another life cycle. Anyway, that's pretty much it. I just really wanted to share a little bit about this lens and why it feels so special to me and has such a big impact on my work. So, thanks for coming along.